Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. Today we're going to be going back and playing Ahri. We haven't really played her at all since we actually did her guide. And we also are going to be showing off Coven Ahri, as you can see right here, which is probably one of the best skins in the game, in my opinion. Really like the Coven and Old God skin lines. Sad that we probably won't get any additions to that in the near future at all, since they're not really doing skins too much anymore, but still thought we would show that off today. As far as what we're playing Ahri into, we're doing the 5.5 weekly nightmare up against Lissandra. Now they have fortifications, so the Nexus has tough. This can actually reduce down a lot of damage, so instead of doing a lot of small hits, you want to do just some very big hits. And also they have all things grow cold, so they're going to have massive units, especially when compounded with the deadly modifier. Now for the build we're going with the Echoing Spirit, Hymn of Valor, and Hidden Tome. The point of this is to have, for one, a bunch of copies of Ahri. We're going to drop Ahri. Any extra copies of her are going to get turned into her champion spell, which are actually going to be a 0 cost because this has mana potion on it, and because the Echoing Spirit is going to cost 1 less. So we can recall Ahri for free. Every time we play her, we're making a redoubled valor that costs 3, so we're able to double her stats. With the Hidden Tome, we get that 3 mana in order to play that every single time. Also, Ahri gets discounted down to a 1 cost from your 2-star, so we're spending 1 mana to be able to play her, double her stats, and then recall her for free. And because of our 6-star, every time we recall an ally, it strikes the enemy Nexus. So Ahri is just going to be getting bigger and bigger and just doing these massive strikes, which will be a good counter to the enemy's tough. And also, this doesn't really matter what the enemy tries to play against us. This is a great build for being able to kind of ignore the enemy and just absolutely annihilate them. Now, this build definitely can be a little bit repetitive because you're just doing the same thing every single turn, but it is incredibly strong and it should be a great way to clear this weekly nightmare. Now, if you're appreciating all the daily Path of Champions videos, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated, and let's get into it. Raiding Party, Dragon's Rage, Fast Deal. I think we'll go for the extra draw. Sure. Let's go for a Mariner. Let's get rid of Pathless, and yeah, we want ways to recall our Ahri. Oh, this requires another unit. Also, Coven Ahri. Alright, let's see if I remember how to do this. Alright, so we reset our entire hand. Fun. Let's go ahead and do this right here. So, 0 cost charm. Drop Ahri again. Alright, so we could recall again, but we wouldn't be able to play her again. So we could attack and then recall. Sure. They'll probably... Oh, they didn't want to block. Okay, GG. Nice. I think we'll go for the Blade Twirler just because it's the cheapest. We don't really plan on playing any of these. I think Katarina could be decent since she recalls herself. So that's some obvious synergy there. Yeah, we can try to go for Katarina. That can be interesting. Spells Chest, Slot Bot, or Spells Chest. Create a Lucky Find. Give the weakest ally Elusive. I think let's try to go for Profiteer and probably just go for the Spells Chest. Let's hold on to this right here. We're holding on to the Katarina because that is going to increase our odds of drawing another Ahri, which is going to be guaranteed at this point. All right, let's go for Ahri. All right, try to go for the scaling. Let's play this here to get a strike off.
The forest and I are one.
Yeah, the sad thing is we don't have really any way to deal with their units. We don't have any overwhelm or anything like that yet, but we're still doing a ton of damage. Since Constellations Demacia is fucked, my beautiful Lux is ruined. I think all of Demacia is still pretty solid.
Wild hearts should run free.
Like, Vayne is incredibly good in Demacia, and then I think Lux Illuminated is also pretty good, although I definitely like Vayne better, although again, I don't have Lux Illuminated at 6 stars. And then, I mean, Morgana's technically Targon, but Morgana's really good too. Alright, GG. Hunt the Weak, 1 cost, do like that. I think we will go ahead and grab that one. And yeah, we can go for the spells chest, see if we can get some more recalls. Recall an ally, this is going to be free, and we have Farsight on it, solid, so we're less reliant on just getting more copies of our Ahri. And let's go here for T-Hex. Alright, let's get rid of Dancing Droplet. And we don't necessarily want these because these are the ones that aren't going to be free. We want more copies of our Ahri and her charm. I find Vayne also to be fun, but that, yeah, fun is something that is very much personal preference.
Wild hearts should run free.
All right, let's go ahead and, yeah, let's use this one first because it's free. Although so is the other one.
World has to offer.
I think let's attack first. Technically that one could survive. And yeah, they'd probably block with it. But we're about to get recalled, so... Oh, okay.
Too slow.
I brought my book. Hope that's all right.
I go where the winds blow. For now.
Alright, so we will drop this one here. Shouldn't that say that's gonna die? I mean, it kind of doesn't really matter. Alright, that should be game. GG. I don't really care about any of these. I suppose we'll grab that one. Let's go for more copies of our champion. Strike, draw 1, I'm fine. I would like to get, like, just Overwhelm. Faded and becomes Fey. That would technically give us a little bit more scaling. So, sure. Alright, healer. We're probably never going to play that. At least it gets itself out of hand. Yeah, let's get rid of that one and go for Nivea. Let's get rid of these two. North 6-star should buff champions we get from portals and then double their stats. That would be pretty nice. Alright, so we're going to try to play our Ahri, but there's a decent chance she just gets immediately frostbitten, stunned. Oh, they actually blew all of their mana. Alright, I'm not going to complain.
I go where the winds blow. For now.
All right, with that extra mana they gave us, we can do our little combo one more time. So we'll be able to end without having to attack.
Run free.
Yeah, that faded, we can trigger it every single time we play her. So it is actually giving us a decent amount of stats. All right, GG. We're already pretty much guaranteed to draw her because we have so many copies of her. 1-1 as far as stats isn't bad, because especially any increase in stats, since we're doubling our amount of stats, can be pretty helpful. We have a bunch of rerolls, though. I think we'll try to get something better. Oh, this is actually difficult. This is difficult in a couple different ways. So if we go for the mana deposit, we can keep playing her, and then our limiting factor is just how many of the recalls we have, and that's as long as we have enough recalls, we can just keep going forever. With the Spirit Stone, we always have a free recall, so we can always go, but then the limiting factor is the mana cost. And then the Consuming Wrath just gives us so much extra damage, because it's like 4 power up front, but then since we're doubling that every time, it's actually really, really good. I think we'll go for the Mana Deposit for one. This is the one that's going to be the hardest for us to get again. Mana Deposit Katarina. I mean, we could, but yeah, it's not really needed. All right, we'll do this, but yeah, all 3 of these are actually really good for us. Overwhelm, that'll be really nice. Both of these are also solid as well, but making sure our Ahri can actually attack and not worry about getting blocked, that'll be really good. It gives us essentially 1 extra strike. Oof. So we're going up against Lysandra. We could go for the consistent spell shield, or we could go for the champion item. I think we'll actually go for the consistent route, because right now I think we're going to have enough damage. So yeah, let's go ahead and go down here. Let's get rid of that one, and we will hold on to the Sprite Dance since mana shouldn't really be an issue. We just need more recalls. Alright, so we have a bunch of Ahri. That is really good.
Wild hearts should run free. Just follow the yellow line. Easy.
Yeah, the Faded is actually pretty good for us,
Too slow.
since we can just trigger that every single time.
I go where the winds blow. For now. Wild hearts should run free.
Yeah, we've now hit the point that as long as we have enough of these, we're totally fine. Like, we could recall right now, but we'll just attack and end. GG. Recall an ally or spend 8 mana. I mean, a recall, 1 mana that we're getting at the start of the game. That'll be nice, although we're kind of drawing almost too much. Alright, so we have Spell Shield for our Ahri, so there shouldn't really be anything the enemy can do to stop us. Give your weakest ally 3/3. This is never going to trigger since we're always going to try to end in the first round. When you summon a unit with 8 attack, health, or cost granted 8/8, that'll be funny because we can trigger this with our Ahri very quickly. So, sure. Remitter or shop. We'll go for the shop, and yeah, I think we're good. So let's go for Burblefish. Let's get rid of these 2 because it's not a recall and it's not Ahri. What Ahri build are you running? So this Ahri build is Hymn of Valor, Hidden Tome, and Echoing Spirit. I think the start of Path of Champions was getting how deep, or how does Path of Champions work, relic, item, powers, etc. This year has been how a good constellation looks like. I mean, yeah, the game is still growing, and where they've come so far has been really good. Alright, so they popped our spell shield, but we do have a fast recall if they actually try to do something. I mean, that kind of doesn't matter. But sure, let's just recall this here. And now our Ahri is massive. Yeah, it's been a bit since I've played Ahri, so it's actually fun to kind of do some Ahri shenanigans again.
I'll see all this world has to offer.
That is kind of the bad thing is once I do the guide for a champion, I then don't play them for a couple months. Normally because I just have made so much content with them. But it is fun to actually be able to go back. We don't even need to double the stats. Let's just attack. GG. Honestly, a lot of people like to rag on the game. But every single patch since Constellations have come out has been like a massive addition to the game. Like the amount of content we're getting is pretty crazy from such a small team. Because like back in the day, we'd have to wait like 6 months, or not 3 months. 3 months to get new champions, and yeah, it was a rough time. Now every single patch we're getting multiple new champions, normally new adventures, and new content. It's pretty good. We don't want to draw a unit because that's going to make us overdraw Probably. Well, not necessarily, because we're getting the card out of our hand. So I guess it could work, and it could potentially draw another Ahri. Yeah, I think we can be fine. Alright, shop. Don't really want any of these. When you summon a created ally, grant it 2/2. Our Ahri is not really going to count as created, so that shouldn't really help us, sadly. When you summon a 1-cost, grant it 2/2. Ahri will be a 1-cost once she's been recalled once, so sure. I think let's get rid of this just because we don't have to be drawing too many things at the start. And let's go for Lysandra. Next year, I feel like we'll be able to see how good the constellations and game mechanics can be pushed forward. That's the thing. While the game is improving, I've kind of always had this mindset that the game is still building its foundation. Because right now, one of the big drawbacks is that we don't have a way for people to earn all the relics without spending money. So that's one of the biggest things that needs to be addressed. And like they're working on doing that. So I feel like once they get that sorted, then I feel like the foundation of the game will be done, and then everything after that will just be like building on top of it. But since this is now not a side part of Legends of Runeterra, but the main focus, they now need this to be a complete package, which I think it's almost there, but I do think they definitely need to get that system in place so that people can actually earn everything in game. And so I feel like this year that's what they've been working on, is just building the foundation, and then everything after that will just be adding a bunch of cool stuff to it. Let's get rid of these two. Holding on to Katarina to increase our odds of drawing our Ahri. Then the other ones are rallies. All right, so let's drop this here.
Forest and I are one.
Alright, so they just spent all of their mana on that, so now we don't really have to worry about what they do at all. Does she still have... No, she does not have her annoying power. That could shut us down, so I'm glad I don't have that. Yeah, we're at 8 cards. I think this should be fine. And yes, it can pull out another Ahri, so that is awesome.
I go where the wind blows. For now.
It is kind of crazy how much damage you can actually push with Ahri.
Forest and I are one.
Because like right here, we could keep going for a while. We still have a bunch of removal spells, but it doesn't even matter. GG. All right, Ahri, still a lot of fun. I like how there's some different builds you can go with, and if you're just wanting a very strong build and you don't really have to care what the enemy does at all, this is fantastic for that. You just drop your Ahri and you know you have a very high likelihood to just absolutely dominate.